joining us now, Qualcomm CEO Cristiano Amon. It's great to have you on.
Great to have you on.
Happy to be here.
What a myriad set of issues and navigating expertise you need for what has been a phenomenal company that we've watched over the years. You're an engineer, but you've got to be trained as an engineer. Now you've got to, I don't know, you've got to be an ambassador. We just had one on, and I don't know, a soothsayer to figure out what to do, I think.
Lots of opportunities, let me put it that way. But yes, I think this, it's exciting time for the technology industry right now. I think in general, despite the macroeconomics in the short term, I think digital transformation is accelerating at virtually every industry. The future of the economy is digital. And I think semiconductors, I think we determined they're very important. And yes, we're getting out of the supply chain crisis, and hopefully, as things improve, the industry will resume growth.
We're going to bring a lot of it back to the United States from China. I think that's an immense opportunity for Qualcomm as well.
Look, the way we look at this, and it's less about one location or the other. If you just step back, you look at the projection of semiconductor consumption. So we expect that in the next decade, we're going to have to double the total global manufacturing of semiconductors. Semiconductors, it's going everywhere because everything is becoming connected, intelligent. So the key thing is, we need to build a very resilient supply chain. And part of that is important to be geographically diversified. So we're super happy, especially as being the largest fabless company. We need a supply chain to manufacture our chips. With the initiatives of the United States Chips and Science Act, I think the investments of our suppliers, such as TSMC and Samsung in the United States, and I think that's going to be good for the industry.
What Apple's doing is a bit of a negative, maybe to some extent, if they don't use as many Qualcomm chips. But you look at 5G or automotive, and you're right in the sweet spot for both of those.
Yeah, so the way to look at maybe if I say that way, the new Qualcomm, I think we realize that the technologies we develop for mobile are finding its way into a number of other industries that as the edge or outside the data center looking for connectivity, computing, and artificial intelligence. Great example of that, I think it's our expansion into the automotive industry. We're very proud of that. I think we're now working with virtually all, car companies in a number of things, connecting the car to the cloud, the digital cockpit experience, autonomy and ADAS, but also digital transformation of industry. We do supply a modem to Apple. If they need our modem, we'll continue to be a supplier, but the companies really focus on growing and diversifying to all those other industries.
Will I be able to make a phone call on a satellite phone using a...
Absolutely.
And anywhere I won't need to be. I could be stranded somewhere and I'll be able to get...
Yeah, so this is actually a good topic of conversation. I think we're going to see now this new era of satellite communications being yet another way for you to communicate. If you look at your phone today, you have cellular and you have Wi-Fi, right. And soon you're going to add satellite. One of the things we announced at CES is our partnership with Iridium. So globally, you'll be able to have your regular phone, and if you want to be connected, you'll be connected.
Do you ever think the price will become, reasonable enough that people could use it in a meaningful way?
I think so. And also, when you think about the next few years, the 5G standard is now also being adopted by satellite companies, as we call 5G NTN, non-terrestrial networks. And I think that's going to be an expansion that you're going to have more than one satellite provider to use the technology.
Cristiano, Apple has been talking about doing more and more of its own chips, not just with you guys, with a lot of other players that are out there. It's something that they've pushed back in terms of the Qualcomm chips that you use. I think they've had some difficulties with some of it. What does that mean to your business longer term?
Yeah, look, I think it's the same thing I just said. By the way, I think we're a great supplier of Apple. I don't think they never had any difficulties with our chips. But
no, I think difficulties doing it themselves.
I understand it. Here's how we think about it. If you look at the history of our company, the company that have been behind the invention of 3G and 4G and 5G, this is what we do for a living. This is our core competence. So as long as cellular communication innovation is important, there's always going to be room for Qualcomm.
Can I ask you it's almost a physics question, and it has to do actually with cable companies. By the way, we're a parent company of CNBC, Comcast. there's a lot of 5G is obviously a huge technology. People are doing fixed line wireless to the home and the like. Over time, do you ever believe that wireless communication can be faster than a wired communication?
Already is in some cases. We actually broke the barrier of 10 gigabit per second over a 5G link. So what I think the way to think about it, if you step back, last mile communication or broadband is going to be really two solutions: fiber or 5G.
Right.
But the reality is, even if you have fiber, last mile is wireless because that's your Wi-Fi. And I think you're going to continue to see, speeds in the multiple tens of gigabits. That's why we call our 5G home broadband wireless fiber.
But the expense of putting those together is high. So, I mean, one of the things that people say, well, 5G fixed line wireless is actually going to be a limited market ultimately because of just the expense of actually putting in all of the towers.
You know, a great example of that is what we're going to see in India. India, it's a country that is going through a transformation, digital India, and they have a necessity of broadband. If you look of the result of the 5G auction, all of the operators in India, the message is it's going to be more cost effective to do it with 5G versus laying fiber everywhere, and we're going to see that achieve scale.
So electrical engineering, you got even a PhD honorary. Is there anyone at your company that is smarter than you, and when they're talking, they talk over your head?
I think pretty much
who are those people? Because you understand almost everything you do. You even Snapdragon, you at 5G, all those strategies. You know how to do it. But there are people where they come in and you just go, okay, you just handle that because I have no idea what
Absolutely.
you're talking about.
I'm just overhead. Well, look, one of the things about Qualcomm, and it's unique in our company culture, we're a company of engineers. I think we have been one of the companies that have investing in fundamental research and technology. We usually invest on things 10 years before there's a market for it.
Unbelievable.
And we're very fortunate we have a lot of smart people and many smarter than I
It's
am.
almost all magic at this point for me. It is. When a movie comes into my phone, it's magic. Where is it? Are there little squiggles? I mean, it's magic. It's magic. You bring someone from 100 years ago into this world, and they're going to say it's magic.
Yeah. It's going to get better.
It's unbelievable. Cool. Keep doing it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Great to see you.
Good to see you too.